everyone, it's April from Well Life Yoga and Health. Today I'm going to be introducing you to a day one of an after work yoga series that I will be having on my online membership platform that is coming in January 2023. It obviously is going to start out a little small, so it's going to be pretty inexpensive, but if you are interested and this yoga session works out really great for you, I have a whole 5-day series. This is just day one, and you can use it to repeat every day after work if you have an 8 to 5 job, 9 to 5 job, anytime. So really, it's called an after work yoga, but you can do it any single time. You can do it in the morning if you wanted to. But I'll also have other series on there, 5-day series. I have a few on there. And if you are interested, you can go ahead and sign up for the email newsletter, and I will be introducing that pretty soon. And you will be the first to know as soon as that is launched. So go ahead and grab your mat and grab any props that you think you might need and enjoy. I'll see you on the mat. Hey everyone, it's April. I'm excited to welcome you to your day one of your 5-day series for your after work yoga. Obviously, you can use this at any time, but the intention is to open up the body after a long day. Maybe we were sitting all day, maybe we were standing all day. No matter what you were doing at work, no matter how you were staying in a certain position all day, we're gonna go ahead and work out the kinks. Today we'll be working through the hamstrings and rotation of the spine. So we'll go ahead and start first and foremost with a 2-minute meditation. It's a very short meditation, but just an FYI, we will need a couple blocks for later in the flow. You may or may not need these if you're already flexible, but if you do have some inflexibility in the hamstrings, definitely grab your blocks. If you would like to, for the meditation, we can actually sit up on the block. So you would put it this way, horizontal on the lowest setting, and you would place it underneath and then bring your hips on top. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and wind down the eyes here. Hands can be on the knees or in the lap, however you feel comfortable. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, let it out. Let's do 2 more just like that. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more. And let it out through the mouth. Calming the mind now. Allowing the shoulders to fall away from the ears. Today we're going to be working through the root chakra. The root chakra is the first chakra at the base of the spine and is represented by the color red. I'd like you to begin to imagine your tailbone, that area, starting to glow red. Imagine like Rudolph's nose, Rudolph the reindeer, how it glows. This is your guide through life, just like Rudolph guided Santa in the stories. This is your base, this is your foundation. It represents safety, security, and a really grounded feeling or a calm feeling when in balance. So allow that red light to vibrate, to emanate from your tailbone area. And I'd like you to begin to notice your feet on the ground, your sit bones hugging the surface, either of the earth or your block. Inhale. Exhale, let it out. And now turning the palms down if you had them up. Eyes are still closed. Go ahead and inhale, shoulders to the ears. Squeeze them up, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then exhale, pull them back and down the spine. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, shoulders up. And exhale, shoulders pulling down. Uno más. 1 more. And exhale, pull them back and down. Maybe a little wiggle. Go ahead and open the eyes. Welcome back. Hopefully you're feeling nice and calm, nice and grounded. All right, so if you did have your block underneath you, go ahead and remove that now. We're gonna go ahead and make sure that our blocks are accessible for us right at the top of the mat. This is always a great place to have them, so that way if they're at the back of the mat or something and then all of a sudden you decide you need a block, you don't have to move in a way that might actually injure you. So they're accessible right here for us. So let's go ahead and come on to hands and knees, finding our tabletop position. Knees go directly under the hips and then wrists directly under the shoulders. Go ahead, bring the right foot between the hands. And coming into a low lunge position, make sure you're pulling your right hip crease back. So you're not sinking everything into this right leg and then you're kind of off center with the hips, but you're pulling that hip crease back and that knee will be directly over the ankle. We'll go ahead and inhale the arms up. Breathe here. Remember, pull that hip crease back. At the same time, you're leaning into that left hip. Go ahead and tuck the toes and then lift the knee as an option. Otherwise, stay on the knee if you feel more comfortable there. For 3, 2, 1, and come back to the knee if you were lifted. Hands come to the heart. We'll go ahead and bring the palms out, pointing them straight out, and then over to the side of your knee. We'll twist this way over to the right. So facing the right side, facing your shoulder. Keep breathing if you find any balance issues. Squeeze the legs together. Just think about squeezing everything to the midline. Continue to breathe. One more. Left palm plants onto the mat next to the foot. Right arm goes up. So we're either staying here in this low lunge or perhaps you tuck those toes and you lift the back knee, finding an active, easy twist. Really think about keeping that back leg straight if it's lifted. So engage the quad, engage the glutes, engage the calf, press the heel towards the back of the mat. One more breath. And then go ahead and plant the palms. Come into your first plank pose. We're gonna go through a vinyasa flow here. So if you wanna go through chaturanga to upward dog, go ahead. Otherwise, make sure the hips are low enough so we're not up here and we're not hanging, but we're right in line. Press off the toes, lower to the knees, lower all the way down to the belly. Inhale, cobra. Again, you could be doing chaturanga to up dog. Exhale, downward facing up. Take a full breath here. Maybe walk it out. And then come back down to those knees. And walk it back to your tabletop position, always finding your foundation here. Knees under the hips, wrists under the shoulders. Left foot comes between the hands. Find your low lunge first. Toes are untucked. And then pull that left hip crease back as the right hip, you sink into it a little more. We'll inhale, arms come up, low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Breathe here. Remember, if you're sinking into that front knee, continue to pull the hip back at the same time. You'll notice you get more stretch in that right hip flexor. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Keep on breathing. And then maybe we start to tuck those toes and lift the knee if you did it on the first round. For 3, 2, 1, and slowly lower it down. Hands come to the heart. Point them out. And go ahead and bring them over to the left side of the knee, outside of the knee. And then bringing the upper body and gaze over the left shoulder or straight in line with the left shoulder here. Remember, if you have balance issues, squeeze the legs together. Maybe the gaze goes slightly over the shoulder. Let's do 2 more breaths. All right, coming back to center, plant the right palm next to the foot, open the left arm up to the sky. Maybe we stay here and we have our body straight open to the left, or perhaps we tuck the toes, keep that back leg active, finding our easy twists. One more breath. Plant the palms, step it back, find your plank, go through your flow. Perhaps it's chaturanga, keeping your elbows tight till they're 90 degrees, flipping to the tops of the feet, and then pressing up through upward dog. Inhale, and exhale, downward facing dog. Take a full breath here. And then go ahead and reach the right leg up, 3-legged dog. And if you typically go like this and open your hip, let's go ahead and keep our hips square. So press that heel straight up towards the sky and engage that glute. Toes will be pointing down and are flexed. So try to point here towards the floor. And the knee comes into the chest. Press off those back toes, lift onto the ball of the foot. Bring that knee closer to the chest and plant the right foot in between the hands. All right, now bringing the blocks next to you, framing the hands on the medium height. We'll go ahead here and find a runner's lunge. Bend into that front knee, make sure it's over your ankle. Press into that back foot. The knee is lifted off the ground here. So we're finding this active runner's lunge. And then we'll start to straighten that front leg. If you find yourself stuck here, go ahead and raise the blocks onto the highest height and then straighten the leg. Otherwise, if you're fine, you can be here, and you can always be on the lowest setting, or you can be on the floor. So perhaps you look like this. But if you're like this, and you can't reach and straighten your back at the same time, then I would prefer you have the blocks. Take one more breath. And then go ahead and step the back foot forward. Step the right foot back. Find runner's lunge on the other side. Bend in that front knee. Pull that hip crease back every time. So I want you to think about these cues every time you're in a lunge position, okay? Breathe, continue to engage that quad and the glute. Squeeze that right glute. Flex it. All right, now coming into that pyramid variation, straightening the leg. Again, maybe you have blocks, maybe you're on a different setting. It's your practice. You decide what you're doing today. Take one more breath. Keep the toes flat. Maybe lean a little forward if you can keep your back mostly straight. And then go ahead and step to the front. Forward fold, exhale. Slight bend to the knees, belly to the thighs. Keeping the knees bent, we'll go ahead and slowly roll it up. Keep the chin to the chest. Let the spine slowly unravel as we begin to straighten the knees, then the hips. Then we open the shoulders and palms come forward, Tadasana, mountain pose. Slight engagement into those glutes, slight tuck to the lower ribs, and then palms are forward. We're still active here, even though we're standing. We have our muscles lightly engaged. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. And then we'll slight bend to the knees as we lift the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. And then exhale, slight bend to the knees as we forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the palms. Step it back into your plank pose. Go through your flow. So if you are doing half chaturanga, you would go press up the toes, shoulders go past the wrist, knees to the ground, lower all the way down to the belly. Inhale, cobra, pelvis and tops of the feet are on the floor. And then exhale, meet in downward facing dog. Take a full breath here. And then we'll inhale, right leg up. Remember, toes stay pointing down. Knee to the chest, cheetah pose. Press, round that upper spine, and plant the right foot between the hands. Back foot goes parallel to the back of the mat, finding our pyramid shape with our legs. And then we'll go ahead and slight bend to the knee just to come up. We'll go ahead and lift the arms up towards the sky. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna twist towards the right leg. So if your back foot needs to pivot, feel free to let it pivot towards the front of the mat, but we are staying flat on the hill, okay? Go ahead and open the arms. Keep that leg straight, front leg. Back leg is straight and engaged as well, but it is rotating itself internally. Keep on breathing. One more breath, find your balance. And then we'll reach that back arm to the opposite leg. And then left arm comes up, lift up. Think about lifting up towards the sky and then back. Anchor in that front toe, press in that back foot. Reverse triangle or reverse revolved triangle. Take one more breath. And then we'll inhale, arms come back up. And then we'll go ahead and do an actual reverse triangle. So kind of like a reverse warrior. We'll go ahead and open up into that triangle. So back foot might pivot more parallel to the mat. And then we'll reach the palm up as we reach forward, up and back. Let the back arm go down the leg. Breathe here. So we're not crazy bending, but we're thinking about length in the spine and then a slight bend. So really think about lifting up. One more breath. And then go ahead and frame the foot. Step it back. Find your plank, go through your flow, bending the elbows, keep them tight to the body. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a full breath. Inhale, left leg comes up. Remember, heel presses towards that ceiling. Squeeze that glute, like a little glute exercise here. And then knee comes to the chest, cheetah pose. Press off those back toes. Really round that upper spine. Plant the left foot between the hands. All right, we're gonna turn that back foot parallel to the back of the mat, or about 45 degrees towards the front of the mat. And then we're going to lift straight up. Straighten that front leg. Breathe. So finding that triangle position. And then we're going to start to open the arms towards the left. So again, if your back foot needs to pivot, feel free to let it pivot. Maybe you bring it forward a little bit. Find what works for you. Keep your balance. Continue to breathe. And then left arm goes down to the opposite leg. We'll lift the front arm up and back. Nice and steady. So so you can keep your balance. Notice what your toes are doing. Engage those legs, keep them strong. Take one more breath. And then we'll lift the arms back up. And we're going to open up into that triangle pose, or starting triangle pose. And then back foot is gonna probably pivot parallel to the back of the mat. So notice what your body's doing. Flip the front palm up, so you reach forward, up and back. Let the back arm go down the leg. Think about that length and then the reach. One more breath. And then go ahead and cartwheel the arms down. Find your plank pose. This is your last vinyasa flow, so really make it count. If you want to go through chaturanga, bend the elbows tight to the body and then lower slowly all the way down. If your hips fall before your shoulders, I would like for you to come to your knees first. Inhale, cobra. Keep those arms close to the body. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths here. Squeeze the armpits towards one another. So like the outsides of the arms, squeeze them and bring them in as if you're trying to face them towards one another, but really they're like, look like little cross eyes. Take one more breath. And then we'll go ahead and look forward, hop, step, or walk all the way to the top of the mat. Go ahead and slowly lower the hips towards the feet. Then bringing the hips down and coming all the way to the back. Go ahead and reach the right leg up towards the sky. And we're going to bring our hand in the thigh. Keep that leg straight. So if you're kind of like this, straighten, press through that heel as if you're pressing into the ceiling with your foot. Keep it active and flex, toes pointing towards the face. Perhaps we reach a little further, but only if you can keep your shoulders on the ground. So if you're like this, then I would prefer for you to be down here and keep that leg active. Otherwise, if you're up here and you can keep your shoulders on the ground, go ahead and start to bend the elbows, pull that leg a little closer, but keep those shoulders on the ground. Take one more breath, keep on pressing through that heel, engage that quad right here. One more breath. And then go ahead and bring the knee into the chest, straighten that bottom leg. And we're going to take our knee with our right hand as we open the hip towards the right side. Maybe you're here, maybe you're here, maybe you're all the way on the ground, maybe you have really open hips. We are all different. Take a couple more breaths. And then go ahead and bring the knee back through center, squeeze it towards the chest, and then take it in the left hand, bring the right arm out into a T-shaped, palm flat. So a T shape is right in line with your shoulder, so it's from your shoulder out. And then let that knee fall over to the left. Maybe we keep the foot on the other leg. If it feels uncomfortable, letting it fall to the ground, or maybe we have it on the ground. So find what works for you. I prefer it on my leg, so it's up to you how you have it. Maybe we take the gaze to the opposite side. This is an amazing pose to do in the morning or in the evening. Just waking up the spine. We don't always do twisting, but then those times when we have to twist a little funny just to pick something up off the ground are the times we hurt ourselves, aren't they? Take another breath. I am safe. Exhale. And go ahead and come back through center. One last squeeze for that knee. Hug it in. And go ahead and bring the foot back to the ground. So now we're going to bend that left knee, leg goes straight towards the sky, interlace the hands behind that thigh, and then we'll start to find that same stretch that we did before. So if we were here and we stayed here, remember, if you're like this and you're just kind of like inactive, I want your leg to be active here. So engage that quad, engage that calf, press that heel through the ceiling, toes pointing at the face. And then again, if you were here, go ahead and be here. Pull that leg a little closer by bending your elbows. Breathe. Keep those shoulders on the ground. One more breath. And then start to release the leg down. Knee comes into the chest as that right leg straightens on the mat. Let the knee go in the left hand as we open it up to the left side. Keeping that bottom leg active, so we're still flexing that foot. Take 2 more breath cycles. And then go ahead and bring the knee back to center. Squeeze the knee towards the chest. And then we're going to take the leg in the right hand. Left arm comes out, palm flat, that T shape or half T. And go ahead and let the leg fall over to the right. So we really want this shoulder, this left shoulder, to stay on the ground. So if you can only go here without your shoulder lifting, go ahead and go there. Otherwise, go as far as you can while your shoulder stays anchored, rooted to the ground. Maybe the gaze goes towards that left hand if you did it on the other side. I am safe. I am grounded. I am calm. Whatever one really resonates with you. Take 1 more breath. And go ahead and come back through center. Knees come to the chest. Maybe a little rock side to side. Final pose, let the knees open, reach for the outsides of the feet, press the feet towards the sky, and then pull the knees towards the ground. So we're really pulling on those feet as we press back, but we're pulling with our arms. Happy baby, or Ananda Balasana, which kind of means happy child, but same thing. Keep breathing. And if you do ever have trouble with this pose, the more accessible pose is to grab your big toe with your peace fingers here. 1 more breath. Open the mouth, let it out, cleansing breath. And then go ahead and bring the feet back down. Extend 1 leg to one corner of the mat and 1 leg to the other. Palms come slightly out from the hips, facing up. And then snuggle those scapulas into the ground. Shavasana, corpse pose. We'll be here for a couple of minutes to absorb the nutrients of our practice, to allow the day to fade into our next day as we prepare for either dinner or bedtime. I am safe. If any thoughts arise, notate them as thinking and come back to the breath. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, press out all the breath. Press, press, press. Exhale, exhale, exhale till there's not one drop left. And then you'll inhale deep into the belly, the ribs, and the chest. Hold at the top. Relax for 3, 2, 1, and let it go. Feel the weight of gravity on your body, hugging you to the surface of the earth. I am safe. Take one more breath and let it go. Go ahead and roll over to your favorite side. Knees bend. Bottom arm under the head like a pillow. And you can have that other arm just in front of you, resting. Keep the eyes closed or soft. Remember your affirmation one final time. I am safe. And go ahead and take that top hand. We'll press into the ground. Come up into a seated position. Take your time. Fix your hair. Mine likes to go everywhere. All right, I hope you had a really good practice, and even if you weren't able to do some of the poses, know that this is a practice for a reason. You practice so you get better. You practice so you can progress. It's never about perfection. It's really just about you moving your body, doing what you need to do to relieve tension, to relieve stress, to strengthen, and to become a healthier version of yourself. So I am proud of you, and welcome obviously to the community. So this is day 1. We will do 5 days for the whole week. Feel free after you use this to repeat it every week, or to find another set of 5 videos or 1 video or whatever. So anyway, I'm rambling. Hands will come to the heart. Let's go ahead and close out with 1 Om. Feel free to join me, or maybe you're not comfortable with Oming yet, but trust me, it feels really good. So just try it if no one's around. All right, we'll go ahead and take a big inhale and then we'll Om. So inhale. And keeping the eyes closed or soft, hands are still at the heart center. Go ahead and bow the head to the heart. Heart intelligence to the mind intelligence, or vice versa. I am safe. Allowing your heart to tell your head what it knows. That you don't have to be stressed. You don't have to be anxious. And you can find tools to make sure that you are calm on the regular. And now bowing to each other. Thank you so very much for letting me guide you on your practice, on your journey, on your health journey, on your wellness journey. And I hope to see more of you. There is a community forum, so feel free to post on there. I would love to get to know you, and I will see you soon. Peace out. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed that day 1 of my 5-day after-work yoga series. And like I said in the beginning, if you are interested, go ahead and click the link below for the email newsletter. Sign up for that newsletter and you will be notified as soon as the online membership launches. And from there, it'll just keep growing. As always, if you have any ideas or you have any feedback for types of flows that you might need, whether it's for your hips, your hamstrings, your arms, whether you want to get strong or flexible, just let me know, and I am always open to making new content to serve you. All right, I'll see you later. Bye. Peace out.